So what happened with that trial you were a juror on?
Oh my gosh, the trial was going really well, and it was a really interesting case until they discovered there was some juror misconduct.
Juror misconduct? What happened?
Well, so what happened was one of the attorneys saw a post by a juror on the internet about the trial. So we were all asked if we had made any posts to the internet of any kind, like Facebook, Twitter, blogs, things like that. And so during the questioning, the judge learned that another juror had actually Googled some terms of like people and places of the case, kind of like playing detective, and that's another thing that's just not allowed. So the judge eventually had to declare a mistrial.
Weren't the rules on the internet and social media explained to the jurors?
Yeah, I felt bad. The judge clearly explained the rules to everyone, and I guess some people just didn't realize the impact that violating the rules would have.
What a mess.
Yeah, and it could have easily been avoided.
Hadley Johns likely won't be getting a friend request from Macomb County Circuit Court Judge Diane Drzezinski, the judge holding a contempt of court hearing for the 20-year-old from Warren for writing on her Facebook page, quote, "Actually excited for jury duty tomorrow. It's going to be fun to tell the defendant they're guilty."
Jacob Jock has been sentenced to 3 days in jail after sending a friend request to the defendant.
As a juror, she caused the collapse of the multi-million-pound drugs case she was trying, and all because she contacted one of the defendants, Jamie Stewart, by Facebook.
When you are selected to be a trial juror, you take an oath to follow the judge's instructions. One of those instructions is called the admonition, and it is given to make sure that jurors make their decisions based only on the evidence presented in the courtroom. There are two important parts of the admonition that I want to call to your attention today. The first is that you cannot talk about the case with anyone until the case is over. This means you cannot talk about the case with your friends and family, and it also means that you cannot post information about it on Facebook or Twitter or blog about it. All of those things are prohibited because we cannot take a risk that the jury will be influenced by people who are not participating in the trial. The second is that you cannot do any research on your own about the case. This includes using the internet or other electronic devices, and also includes other kinds of research, like reading newspaper stories about the case. Even looking up words online or in a dictionary is prohibited because in many situations there are precise legal definitions that we must use, and those definitions may be different than what you find on your own. Again, we have these rules because jurors must decide the case based on evidence admitted during the trial. Each party has a right to know exactly what evidence and rules of law the jurors are considering. In Maricopa County, jurors are allowed to ask questions during the trial. So if you have a question, ask it. We will do our best to provide you an answer. But remember that you cannot do your own research. If a juror is found to have violated any of these rules, that juror may be dismissed from the trial. Some violations would require the judge to declare a mistrial and start all over with a new jury. This causes delay and can be very expensive for the parties. Finally, I'd like to thank you for your jury service. Serving on a jury is one of the most important civic duties an American citizen has. Without you, we could not guarantee jury trials for parties who were entitled to them. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great experience.